First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
It's a very special time as long as you're carrying your vaccination card and you don't have a temperature, we let you into the studio now.
Well, that's not completely true. I don't think we can ask for the vaccine card. We're going to have to just take your word for it, Joe.
That is true.
Well,
you can ask for it.
I not only had the vaccine, but I also had COVID in December.
I know you did.
And I was very careful, but I ended up getting it. Very mild case, but
you had it right around the time just before I had it.
Yeah,
I believe.
I think when we used to talk on the phone, you might have given it to me.
Yeah. I had it second, so you had it first. You gave it to me.
I gave it to you.
Yeah,
I did.
That's exactly right.
Oh, like leaves me out, gets me off the hook.
Andrew, you gave it to both of us.
Andrew, you gave it to both of us.
Sorry.
Oh, darn.
But Joe, it does feel pretty good. Like you, for instance, you're on the school board, and you've have the Zooms, right? No,
we're not doing that. Well, I was very disciplined when it came to.
I know you were
going to the meetings by Zoom rather than.
I will never forget the night my son walked through the door and said he hated me. Remember that commercial? You remember that? And slammed the door in my face.
Slammed the door in my face.
I hate you, Dad.
You remember that?
No, I don't.
I will never forget. It was the weekend. It was the Saturday before the shutdown.
Yep.
And the virus was prevalent out there. It was in the news, but it looked like we were going to be okay. There were rumors, though, right? People were getting nervous. They were already getting their toilet paper.
There's a train from New York City that's bringing COVID in by the train load.
Remember that?
There was going to be martial law imposed.
Martial law.
Yeah,
now,
I got my letter.
I didn't believe that until we were handed a letter from the New York State Broadcasters Association that said we are considered essential and able to drive if it all gets shut down.
You know that most attorneys in the beginning were not considered to be essential.
Well,
and then they found out that was a mistake.
Which was that was a continuance of a previous policy, wasn't it?
Jeff, I wanted to mention something to you. I've been listening to the show, watching it on TV, and I'd come in here. I can't tell you how many times you had a hat on all the time, and now I see your hair is looking lustrous and full, and I have to say, if I only had that when I lost my hair in my late 40s and early 50s, I would still have a lustrous head of hair like you. And I'm wondering if it works for guys that are, a little bit more experienced. Can you tell me that? Because I've been meaning
What does
to
that
ask,
mean, more experienced? You mean older? Older.
Older.
Okay.
Seasoned.
I just wanted to hear him say it.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Yeah. All right.
It's nice. It's nice when someone else who's a little bit older is actually in the studio because you're like father time with these two guys.
Yeah, it does. It is true. The problem is I feel more juvenile than both of them.
There are times.
Yeah. Sorry about that. You said early 50s. So
I didn't. I had some of my hair in my up here.
You did
in my early 50s, and then it went away. Yeah. Although I do have a little spot right here, so I'm kind of hopeful that the guy can stick me with the needle or whatever.
Well, that's what he's been. That's what he's been doing.
You should look into it. I mean, because you still do have some hair up there. I mean, it
not much.
Pumps some life back into it. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have as much as you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you're right. I got more. Bill, I'm sitting
here.
Not
that I should be proud of what I
no, trust me.
What I have by any means.
The man who called having no shoes until he saw the man with no feet. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, I think so.
Or the one-eyed man is king in the valley of the blind.
Yes.
Either one.
Yeah.
Us arguing about who has
That's
more.
That's a very good point. Yes. Meanwhile, since we've been talking, Andrew grew a full beard. It's unbelievable.
On my feet.
Bill, I was sitting here listening to you talk about the fact that you feel free now. And I'd like to feel free, except probably 50% or less of the people in Utica, for example, haven't had both shots of the vaccine.
I know.
And, New Hartford, I saw some statistics. New Hartford and Clinton had 66 and 75% of the people that were polled, or not polled, but I guess the
part of
information
right, because you can go in by zip code.
Right. Yeah. And, I just thought we need to get to a certain level. And, I still wear my mask when I go into the grocery store and stuff like that. Just because I wore my mask, I still do all the stuff you're supposed to do because I was really careful, and I still got it.
I know. Yeah.
So,
well, maybe that you had it, you're not going to be able to get it, and you've had the vaccine on top of it.
True.
Let's hope that is true.
Right.
However, I will tell you that, my wife has been wearing a mask all day long. She's like the convenience. She's being a teacher. She wears it all day long, and they have a couple of breaks where they can take it off, but otherwise they got to wear the mask all day long.
It's really inconvenient.
What I find, though, is when I walk into the grocery store, she's like, listen, I'm vaccinated. And so is everybody else, or they're wearing a mask. I'm taking the mask off. So I wear it on my chin just so I don't look like a wuss. If I'm wearing the mask.
You wear it on your chin? You're one of those people?
Well, just in case I have to slide it up, but God forbid somebody sneezes, I'm putting that back on.
Well, I wear it as a matter of course. Not that I don't trust everybody.
You can't trust the people.
I don't. Honestly, I don't.
No, I know.
There's just, again.
You're an attorney. You know what it's like to lie. Of course. Sorry. Did I say that?
Oh, my wow. It's good to be back, Bill. It really is.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
It's good to be back. And I'm glad I don't have to wear a mask in here, although I'm sure many people would just prefer that I did just because the lower part of my face isn't as attractive.
Okay, well, I'm not going there.
I know, you don't have to.
The reality is, though, that it is a free feeling, though. The fact that, and I'm not talking about going into grocery stores, I'm talking about being in the studio. Having guests in studio is a pretty...
I still do the mask thing. I'm not doing it today, but
I get that.
When I have appointments in my office,
you require them to wear a mask.
Everybody wears a mask. It's just the way it is.
I don't blame you.
I just,
and is it to the point now where you're just you don't even want a cold? Who wants a cold?
No, I agree.
Who wants to catch the scabies or something?
Who wants
like
the
that?
flu?
Or the Zika?
Who wants a stomach bug?
And that is going around. There is a bug going around that Monaski had that was
Monaski.
Pretty big.
Don't
pretty
you
big
wear your
hit.
mask to prevent?
Guy doesn't get COVID, but he gets a
he gets everything else.
You're doing it now.
You're right. I just kind of rubbed my brow and my eyes. So my roommate went to New York City. I don't know how long ago was it now? 3 weeks ago.
And you think that's where
ago?
It came from?
Oh, there's no question because he was sick from Sunday to Wednesday. Actually, did not go to work those days, and it was a pretty bad illness, and I had caught it apparently, and. Yeah, I was out for 3 days as well.
You don't do what we do with our kids. What we used to do with our kids, we'd quarantine them into their rooms and just bring them whatever they want and just say, don't leave your room unless it's to go to the restroom.
It's outside the door for you.
Let me tell you something. In our house, if you get something, you put a mask on. And you stay in your bedroom.
Now, because nobody ever had masks.
We had masks before.
You did?
Yep. I had an old Ronald Reagan mask that make the kids put on. It helped.
Halloween mask,
like Mr. Pink, or was it Mr.
It helped
White?
a little bit. It did.
No, you know what was funny is actually he was wearing. He started to get ill, literally on his way home on the thruway and stuff. So he ended up in the hospital.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was a bad illness, and he was wearing. It was for one night because he didn't know what it was, and he thought it was COVID, and so he was wearing a mask. And I said, I don't, that doesn't sound like COVID to me. And so he went to the hospital and he got tested. He didn't have COVID, but he had some, I don't know, viral intestinal. I don't know what it was, but so he was still wearing the mask. And I said, you don't have COVID, you don't have to wear the mask. And I thought it was something he ate. Initially, I said, it's something you ate. And then they said, no, it was actually something that was contagious and that was going around. It wasn't.
Wearing a mask is not a bad thing.
And right, and I'm telling him, meanwhile, I'm telling him, you don't wear a mask for. It's not COVID. It's something you ate. So, and then he's 2 days later hacking and sneezing around the house, and I got it.
And I do remember when he said, "I'm going to try to come in."
No, thanks. You don't have to be a hero for our sakes.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe. Big lawsuit news from the Utica School Board.
We won one.
you won one. And this is in the appellate court, which means there was a ruling against you, and
they
then
lost at the trial court.
You appealed.
Yeah, and actually, Bruce Karam, our superintendent, testified at the trial, and we felt we should have won that anyway, and we're expecting that there's an amount of money that the district is going to get based on that, the results of the overturning.
And this would be previous.
Correct. Prior
right.
monies due.
Yeah.
So, I have some ideas I'd like to institute.
What would you like to institute?
Well, I was thinking about maybe building a theme park like you were, a water
nice.
park.
A water theme park.
Yeah. Your dream, Bill, your dream.
Instead of putting the money into the, I like it.
No,
I do.
Actually, I'd like to see us, if we do end up with some of this money. Now, we're doing very well from a financial standpoint. Superintendent Karam really does a great job in terms of pinching every penny, and we've been able to reduce our class sizes. So I'd like to see maybe some of that money go to reducing class size. But the other thing I think we need is, and we've had to kind of be thin about it, is some more people with to deal with mental health issues, and also more guidance counselors, because I think. We need to get better.
Well, those are the people that guide the kids to head off to a good college.
We have a lot of kids that go off to good schools. Yeah. I don't think that's the issue. I think it's more or less trying to assist kids to form a life plan as it turns out for careers,
So it might not be college. It might be something, vocational or something.
Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with the trades. We actually have a limited number here, and try to get somebody to do something around your house, and it's very hard to.
It is.
Yeah.
We were just on a call yesterday. Bricklayers, they're hiring. We've seen companies trying to hire welders. And those positions are hard to find today because we spent the last 20 years preaching that kids have to go off to college. And you have to be successful when there are so many other positions.
Well, I think it's important to get educated in terms of being able to read plans and perform calculations and things like that. It's one thing you know how to swing the hammer, but it's another thing to know why you're doing something. Now that can be passed on through experience, but I just think that it would help you if you did end up going to some kind of technical courses. And I'd like I think we're going to be trying to explore the ideas of maybe recreating some vocational training as well, because I think that our area is in need of it. We got tons of construction going on, right?
And there will be more when this whole. I do think this infrastructure bill is going to get passed, and it'll be something. I know. I do.
No, I don't know.
You don't. I do.
So when you say the trade specifically, we're talking plumbers, electricians. What are the other
carpenters,
trades umbrella?
Well, welders, plumbers, masons, carpenters.
People who repair appliances,
repair,
even computers,
auto mechanics, computers. I guess those would be considered. I think obviously times have changed, so but I think that's the type of stuff that we had it when we were in school, and I just think it'd be a good thing to augment.
It's not, even when I was in high school, there was no shop. Even. I went to Notre Dame, of course. A ton of my friends went to Prague. They didn't have shop. They didn't have it. Yeah. They didn't make things, like they used to in high school. Right?
When I was at UFA, they had a track, and I don't remember what they called it, but they built houses. They repaired cars right in the bottom of the school. Yeah. People would bring vehicles in, and they would repair the vehicles.
Without getting into it, that's really BOCES does do that today. Some people get their vehicles fixed at BOCES.
They do. Actually, I just was elected to the BOCES board, so I'm going to have an opportunity to really look into that. I know they have a culinary.
Think you could find a kid that can figure out how my Samsung refrigerator makes ice? Because
you're still having that problem?
Oh yeah. Well, now they're sending out a repair person. I've everywhere you go, you're seeing that it cannot be fixed. But I'm getting a repair person.
Yeah, you're going to pay the guy to come in and
weeks though.
He's
being dispatched from Taiwan or something.
Months.
No, he's being dispatched to tell you need a new refrigerator.
Do you know what we actually have to do? It's unbelievable. You're not even going to believe it.
I need to know.
I
need to know.
I have to fill a tray with water and put it in level without dripping anything. Put it into the refreezer. And then it freezes, and then I have to turn it.
Oh, you make the ice cubes?
To make ice cubes.
You know, I have.
Can you
maybe you should get
it?
a counter. Maybe you should get one of those countertop ice makers, Bill.
Yeah, we have one of those.
And then
I like those.
Well, I'm sure you do.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I do
you like to
those.
have a lot of ice in your drinks.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
The ice cubes from a tray, though, that's quality. I mean, they last a while.
They are, yeah.
You know?
Well, thanks for that. Listen, it's how we used to do it, how we became spoiled.
It teaches you patience.
And you go to the refrigerator. The problem is when you buy something, what you
Does
used
yours
to...
have a TV? Does your refrigerator have a TV on it?
No,
Bill?
but what you used to do is you'd buy an appliance and it would last. Now there's so much gadgetry on every, whether it's a washer
you know what's
or
really
a dryer, all this stuff goes bad. And by the way, in order to repair it, you're better off just going out and getting a new one.
You know what I'm disappointed in? The fact that Apple hasn't come up with a refrigerator for you. I am sure that if you got an Apple refrigerator, it could track all of the things that you eat.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And then direct your phone and all your other items to advertise.
I like it.
Those things to you.
Yeah. You can tag each item, so if you lose, like, the pickles, you know exactly where in the refrigerator they are.
Idea.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Anything? Do you want to actually ask the free money question this morning?
I don't have any.
Well, I'll give you a question.
No, you do it. You do it. I just want to be here because I have to be honest. I've been listening to some of the rulings that have been made. Or when you ask, like you give somebody 2 and 3 chances.
Well, I do that every once in a while.
Can you imagine?
I mean, you really want to give my money away.
How about shoe on the other foot here? Can you imagine Keeler and Hobika are in court? Hobika's representing Keeler. Joe leans over to Bill and goes, "Would you like to make this objection to the judge, or do you want me to handle it?"
Listen. He is well known throughout the community as being an armchair lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so, yes.
There's no question.
I'm pretty sure I actually have a law degree at this point.
There's no question about it.
I'm going to throw a couple at you here, Joe, and you see if you can answer these.
Okay.
You say they're so easy.
No, they're not easy.
The very popular business name. This very popular business name is also the name of the longest river in the world.
Amazon.
There you go. That was an easy one.
That was a $100
one. And that was a $100 question right there.
Go ahead.
But that was kind of an easy one.
Or in Hobika's case, $100 loss.
I can't believe I got one right.
That's right.
Let's do a music one. I like those.
In the song "Cold as Ice" by Foreigner, what nursery rhyme is sung by the background singers?
3 Blind Mice.
That is correct. Wow. Yeah, you heard that one the other day.
I did.
Where in the world did the word jersey, as in sports jersey, come from? This is the one you're taking issue with.
England?
That was the answer, but it is not England.
Yeah, we ruled that a winner.
We gave it away, and we shouldn't.
I wasn't here for
You
this.
weren't here. The island of Jersey, which is actually a part of the UK, but that is not England. England is a part of the UK. That would have been an incorrect answer, but we gave it away.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I think that
that's a fair giveaway.
Yeah, it's a fair giveaway.
All right. I'm glad you see
I'm
it that
3
way.
for 3 so far.
Lyndon Johnson made it official. The birthplace of Memorial Day was at this shopping destination.
Shopping destination?
Mm-hmm. You're
Along
getting
the New York State Thruway.
This is how you'll get it. It's also an ABBA song.
I don't know the answer to that.
Waterloo.
Oh, okay.
And I
Thanks
believe
for bringing that question
it's
up
ABBA,
again.
but you say ABBA, I say ABBA. Let's get the whole thing, whatever that song goes.
I call it Waterloo.
If you're driving in circles on Oneida County Route 34, What facility are you near? This is a good local question. If you're driving in circles on Oneida County Route 34, what facility are you near? And I'd accept a couple of answers.
The correctional facility.
SUNY Poly, Danfoss, Cree, that's the answer. There.
Down the road here.
You know, I've never been on Route 34.
Maybe you have. And then finally, which country's name, when translated, is actually the land of rabbits?
Yugoslavia.
It is Spain. That is the answer that you were looking for.
That was yesterday's question.
That was.
I
didn't
get that one right yesterday.
Okay.
Either.
Well, listen, you did pretty well. But these are
I'm really
competitive questions.
You know what? Your questions are good, Bill. I have to.
Thank you, Joe.
So before I forget one thing about back to the schools, the thought is there's a lot of money coming in. Speaking of free money question of the day,
and that's without the lawsuit.
That's without the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But with the lawsuit, is there any chance the court says, "Listen, we will correct this. We feel the state needs to correct this going forward." But you're not going to retroactively hire teachers or retroactively reduce class size. So this is we're going to fix this going forward. But you're actually not going to get the district. And I mean you. The district is not going to get some payout.
I think they filed a claim for the money over a certain number of years. So I think they get that money. I mean, that might be a solution or a resolution.
So the question, the question was is because of the short in funding. Because the district is being shorted in funding, that it is not following the Constitution that meets that every student gets a proper education.
Well, we had to cut so many teachers and so many different support personnel, and they're not even really support personnel,
right?
You know, your mental health providers, your guidance. I mean, that's a very important part of.
And I think that foundation aid has been corrected from now going forward.
I think there are people
what is
in the
question,
know that may disagree with you, but
what the question is what is in the past, and what's going to happen when all of this money runs out? Because this is not. I know it seems like it's an endless supply of money, but what do we do when it's all gone? That's going to be the big question.
You know, under the law, you're not allowed. You're only allowed to have a certain amount of money that you can keep in reserves, and you cannot go
in your fund
over.
balance.
And I don't think that's.
All right. Well, listen. It remains to be seen what happens there. Right.
It does.
Okay.